Radiant team ban.
And here we go, our second best of three of the day here on our second day of our second best of three, second weekend of Monthly Madness Asia. If you're tuning in, I'm AC, and I'm joined by Epi for the commentary for the day. Draskell, unfortunately, having some issues equipment-wise. We had about as crazy of a best of three as you're ever going to see in our first best of three of the day. Today, though, we get to watch a legendary team playing under a legendary name taking on a team that's really on the upswing. It's going to be Team DK taking on Mski Power Color. Epi, we had a little bit of downtime, man. I think we're all still reeling and recovering from last game.
I agree, man. Hello, viewers. Hey, thanks for having me again. Also, big thanks to Draskell for giving me the chance. I really appreciate it. And yes, we did have to come down from that last game we had. It was just amazing. Guys, we saw 2 rapiers in there, and as soon as IGMM uploads that VOD, you should check it out if you haven't seen it. It was just an epic match.
Oh, yeah. It was nuts. We won't spoil it too much. I will say that it was a 36-minute game averaging more than 2 kills per minute from more or less the word go. It was absolutely absurd. It wasn't one of those games where it got out of hand late and just like, they just found farmed and tacked on an extra 10 kills or so in the last minute. That did happen, in fairness. That happened as well, but it was nuts all throughout. Anyway, enough about the past. Let's look at what's right in front of us. We see the priority put on CK, and we talked about this a little bit before, Epi. CK is so highly valued in a lot of different scenes, very highly valued in the Asian scene as a whole, especially when you're talking about Chinese teams like DK. Chen going to be banned out first on the side of DK, followed by Lycan and Darkseer. Nobody lets Darkseer go anymore. You just do not see Darkseer actually get picked. He's always banned.
10 seconds.
That's absolutely right, and every time he does get picked, he has an extremely high win percentage. We see that in almost all competitions. Now Nature's Prophet gets banned out. That leaves us with Invoker, Broodmother, and Leshrac. Those are like the 3 main super strong heroes that usually see the ban in the first ban phase.
Yeah, agreed. And it's, again, something we kind of touched on during our last broadcast, is the fact that Enchantress, who used to be so highly valued, no longer is. Leshrac really has stepped into that role as a top-tier, 4-legged hero, I should say. But, yeah, I mean, with the Chen ban out, rarely do you just see Enchantress picked. Used to be, if you were going to ban Chen, there was almost always going to be an Enchantress ban out from the other side. DK taking their time, thinking it over, who they want to take out this time around. Invoker, very, very deadly. And Rubik, going to be the 3rd ban out. Now, Rubik is seeing such an ascendancy just in the last few weeks. He is such a popular support. He really helps your team out in a variety of ways. His spell steal, that's obviously the big head turner in terms of his skill set. But it really comes down to just his utility early on that makes him so valuable, and DK knows that. Don't want to be up against it. Invoker going to be the first pickup from Mski.
Yeah, and I'll be interested to see what DK is going to respond with now. They should be relatively happy. They got a good bunch of very powerful heroes left in the pool right now. Leshrac, though, with the Asians, Leshrac is a very, very popular hero in the European scene. Always gets banned or picked in the first 6 ones.
Yeah.
And we'll see how DK is going to approach this. I think that they have an alternative strategy up their sleeves. It wouldn't really surprise me if they picked up a Leshrac. And to be honest, I'm not even sure if they're going to go for a Brood at this point as well. Yep. Usually we see them picking up these heroes they love so much, such as Brewmaster, who can just dive in and then use the ultimate so they don't have to worry about a thing and can just do their thing.
Yep.
Windrunner also a hero that they really like, so we can basically expect everything. And as we see, they're going already 30 seconds into their bonus time because they know they have every option open.
Oh, yeah. And speaking of the Brewmaster Windrunner, was just going to point out the fact that you've already got Darkseer, Furion taken out as well. And something that becomes very important, especially for teams that prefer a tri-lane approach as opposed to a 2-2-1, is exactly who you're going to fit into that long lane role. Beastmaster's still there. That's all well and good. But something that's been on the upswing, we're seeing a lot more of, is a 2-2-1 approach with the particular combination of Windrunner and Brewmaster in the long lane. And that it is just so very effective. Those 2 heroes, the way they synergize, they can keep each other safe. They can pick up kills more or less for free if there's any mistake made. And we'll see if they want to go that direction later on. I love the Shadow Demon pickup here, and I'll tell you why. And Shaker, oh goodness. And yeah, there is just so much more emphasis put on Shaker as a hero in the Asian scene compared to the North American and European scene. Queen of Pain, another very strong pick. We'll analyze that in a minute. I want to talk about Invoker. And the reason I love the Shadow Demon pick is Invoker almost exclusively now is seen mid. Oh, Animage coming out from DK. little bit of a throwback. I love it. Don't get to see Anti-Mage as much as we used to. But sitting on that for a moment, Invoker almost always exclusively goes mid anymore, and if you're going to take him mid, it's usually going to be an Exort build. And what you can do with that is couple that with Shadow Demon in particular and one other hard stun, be it a Shaker, a Sand King is really, really popular, and you can put the Shadow Demon, Sand King, or whatever other hard stun you have on the map together, say even with Leshrac, and then you have your Invoker mid who is focusing on Exort and Sunstrike, following up a disruption, following up a follow-up stun like a Burrow Strike, and yeah, we're going to see Sand King taken out there. Very aware of just how dangerous a Shadow Demon plus a Leshrac with a Sand King on the map might happen to be. But anyway, that pickup of Shadow Demon I think is both a good pickup for DK, the way he's going to synergize with Leshrac, and it also shuts down what Mski might have been up to with the first pick Invoker.
Yeah, absolutely good point you made there, and it appears that DK have been following the European scene as well. It does not surprise me at all because the Chinese teams, I think all the big Dota 1 competitions are either over or about to be over, and so they can now focus entirely on Dota 2. And the Chinese teams are known for informing themselves a lot about their enemies, and Leshrac Shadow Demon has been a very strong combination in the European scene lately. They love to put the combination to the middle lane because it is so difficult to deal with it. It's even possible to deprive the solo mid hero of EXP with that combination. If you just put the Shadow Demon on the high ground, if the hero cannot get into the disruption range, and that's what makes it so difficult, especially if they go up against an Exort Invoker who doesn't naturally have that escape mechanism through the Ghost Walk, he will be in a world of trouble. And what I like about that anti-mage pick is that they lack reliable stuns at the moment, but they get basically two birds with one stone. They have the late game potential through anti-mage. Burning will most certainly make that worth his while. He will get some good farm on that one. And they have a good counter to Queen of Pain as well as Invoker through that mana burn and the high mobility that anti-mage has. If Queen of Pain tries to blink out, anti-mage will not take any of those shenanigans. He'll just blink right after and go for the kill.
Yeah, and the funny thing you mentioned about it so far, and we can see Mski actually has first pick, first ban. So they picked, whenever they pick up their Queen of Pain, something they're going to have to keep in mind here, or something that DK should keep in mind, I should probably say. Queen of Pain can actually counter Anti-Mage as well. Anti-Mage, like you said, can chase her down. The mana burn, very, very potent. But so far as that Anti-Mage trying to get his farm up, trying to split push, trying to be off by himself in the jungle, just if they decide to go the Battle Fury approach, I should say. Either way, though, what you can do with your Queen of Pain is you simply build an Orchid Malevolence on her. At that point, anytime if you have good warning, good vision across the map, something Templar Assassin will certainly help out with. If you can spot the Anti-Mage by himself, Queen of Pain can simply blink in silence if she's accompanied by one hard stun that can be found with an Earthshaker, and all of a sudden the Anti-Mage is locked to the ground and can't get away. So a very high-level thought process is going on here. Templar Assassin, pretty good with 2 Divine Rapiers on her. Don't know that we'll see that 2 games in a row, but we are going to see her on the map. Picked up number 4 from Mski.
Yeah, good point you made there. So you should probably private message Jay from Power Caller right now and Mski to go for that build, because that's actually a really good idea. That Orchid, and I think it would actually, that's a good point you made there. They will probably go for that, and the Lich will either go for, well, it will most likely be put on the support lane with the Anti-Mage. And the thing is too that whoever is going to be on that lane will have a tough time because he will be severely deprived of EXP.
Oh yeah, well that's kind of what the Lich pick does for you. The Lich just about guarantees a 1 lane. Like if you go, okay, we're going to put Lich and a carry in a lane. The onus is 100% on the other team to beat that. Like they can't just sit back and go, well, we'll passively farm, maybe try to gank a little. You can't do that with a Lich in your lane. You will lose. You will come out on the bad side of that. And yeah, I agree. With Leshrac, Shadow Demon, see him a lot in a babysit role. Lich much better at that. We could see a duo mid out of Lich and Anti-Mage. I've seen that used to great effect in the past. And again, they're going to have to have a solo lane somewhere. Both teams lacking a jungler at this point. And wow, they're just going to go CM. CM kind of surprises me there. Not a horrible pickup. She is such a strong hero. But I feel like they could have used, for lack of a better way to put it, a bit more punch early on.
Windrunner or Beastmaster is what I'm calling right now for DK.
I think you're right.
The Lich is such a sensible pickup too, because DK knows that the only thing that you can do against a Lich if you want to win that lane is to push into it and destroy the tower, because Lich is really bad at defending pushes. Anti-Mage cannot do anything about that at the early levels as well.
Right.
and they don't have what it takes. In Puck, there's a very unconventional long range solo we haven't seen in a while, but he's been utilized to great effect in Dota 1 as well, so great to see this hero pick up, and this AoE disable, as well as the silence, and just the survivability of this hero is going to wreak some havoc in this game.
Oh yeah, Puck is just one of those heroes that changes, and no matter where you are in the pick band, you see a Puck, it's got to change your approach. Especially once you get a Blink Dagger up on him, I think wreak havoc, the phrase you used, is really the most accurate one. Anyway, we'll run through the lineups very, very quickly. If you're just tuning in, again, I'm AC, joined by Epi for this game number 1 in the second best of 3 of the day. Team DK taking on Mski Power Color. On the side of Mski, looks like they all got their names changed, so much love to them. Looks like we're going to have Jay playing on our Templar Assassin. Invoker going to be played by 716. Crystal Maiden going to be handled by... I hate the purple color. You can almost never read it. Whenever they're running across the map, I'll just use this. I'm going to guess RR. That's what we'll be calling him. Queen of Pain going to be played by Judge. I have no idea how to pronounce that, so if I get it wrong, please correct me. Jojero, I'm going to guess is correct. Earthshaker going to be handled by Woots. On the side of DK, the legendary Chinese Dota name. Roddick going to be playing on our unconventional Puck. Anti-Mage going to be handled by Burning. No surprise there. Super going to be taking the reins on Leshrac. Lich, played by Zippo. And Shadow Demon, handled by Long DD. Now, something that's going to be a very important choice for our Anti-Mage played by Burning is exactly what approach they want to take. When you look at the team that's coming out from Mski, they're going to have the ability to get around the map and force fights early if they really want to. You start moving Shaker around the map. Queen of Pain, obviously, her mobility doesn't need explain too terribly much. Templar Assassin and the vision she gets from her ulti does give you the chance to move around a bit more confidently. Invoker, of course, Sunstrike, and he is going to be skilling Exort, so he will be heading mid. You have that kind of a lineup. You don't. It's kind of a tough call to make. Do you go Battle Fury and just say screw it? We're gonna play almost purely for a late game, or do you do the Vanguard first? Do you go Vanguard and instead get Burning involved in the team fights early on? And I mean, the majority of the team, in fact, on the side of Mski is very mana reliant. So, I mean, it could go either way. It's really going to come down to how well this early game goes and how well the early laning goes for Burning, I do believe.
Absolutely. We have what I like about DK. When I see the lineup of DK, I'm just getting so excited for this game because it'll come down to their teamfight execution. And since they're like the most legendary Chinese team out there from Dota 1, and they have a big how do I call it? Maybe like a weight to pull in terms of their reputation.
Oh yeah.
They are also putting a lot of practice into Dota 2, and they certainly have what it takes to pull this lineup up to great effect. And I personally call either a Manta style rush or Vanguard into Manta style for Anti-Mage, but
Yep.
I predict the first one more so, and it's going to be really good. He just wants to counteract any type of silence that could be put onto him.
Yeah, no, I agree. Battle Fury, I think, would be a little risky. But if they have a very solid early game, they can just go ahead and say, you know what, Battle Fury's fine. Looking at the way the lanes are going to work out so far, it's going to be 2-on-2 up at top. Earthshaker going to be babysitting the Queen of Pain. Shadow Demon going to be babysitting our Leshrac. We'll see where the second point of Leshrac goes into. First, of course, goes into Split Earth, no surprise. We'll see if he wants to level the Lightning or the Edict. That'll tell us a lot about what the early game plan might be. 716 is going to have his hands full here. Exort Invoker does alright. However, when you're talking about an Anti-Mage who's going to burn that mana, Lich going to be able to start dropping nukes. With the Frost Blast, once he gets a couple of points into it, he's going to have a hard time. And I think what we're going to start seeing is movement coming out of Mski, probably earlier than in most games. Not saying they're going to be trying to fight a pure gank style, but we're probably going to see more gank attempts because of the way this mid lane's going to work out than we might if it were a typical one-on-one.
Yeah. What I really like about DK, I was just going to criticize them for putting the Lich Anti-Mage mid, but then I realized that it's actually a good choice because Invoker relies so dearly on those levels, and now even Initiation here.
Yep, and they're going to do this over and over. And Burning can even afford to take a few little tower shots. I mean, obviously, he wants to get away without them. But he can afford to do that. Invoker's just going to struggle so much. And it's just going to get worse and worse as more points go into Frost Blast. There's really just not a whole lot he's going to be able to do. This top lane is going to hold a lot of importance as well. We see Leshrac has gone 1-2 in terms of Split Earth and Edict, so chances are DK's going to want to win this top lane outright. They're going to want to start going for kills. Hang on, speaking of, Disruption lands on Queen of Pain. She's caught out, going to blink away, and of course I missed First Blood. First Blood managed to pick up by Invoker. Going to guess he used Sunstrike on Puck while I was watching the top lane. Damn it, I hate when that happens.
Oh man, I feel your pain. That happens to me all the time.
Yep. It's like, oh, we're going to have a big engagement. First blood somewhere else on the map. No fun. It's not fair. But we'll take an early look at the farm, see how everyone shapes up. TA leads the way on the side of Mski. Has 10 under her belt right now. 14 for Anti-Mage, so Anti-Mage making the most of having Lich babysit him in mid. Other than that, pretty unimpressive. Well, I won't say unimpressive, just average. 6 last hits for our Queen of Pain, 8 for Leshrac. So Leshrac getting the slight edge here. Oh, good fissure. That's going to lock out Shadow Demon. Let's see how badly they want to press this. Disruption goes off on Queen of Pain. And she's going to blink back forward. Sunstrike anticipated to the north, not going to land. And it looks like Long DD is going to make it back to safety. Let's see. Oh, one more fissure. That's all she wrote. Put a kill in the books and give it to Mski, who now leads 2-0.
Yeah, great play there, just showing that they just knew the cooldown of Earthshaker would be long, but considering the way that Shadow Demon took, they would get that kill either way. So basically, oh, actually, Invoker very, very low in the middle lane, barely surviving this engagement here again from Lich and Burning.
Yeah, and this is what Lich gives you. If you have a very strong carry but a very farm-reliant carry like an Anti-Mage, who has to have a good start, who cannot afford to have a lost lane. You stick a Lich in the lane unless the team just really overreacts. And now you can't even call it overreacts. Hang on, Puck taking a little damage, phases out, takes another shot in the butt, ain't going to be frostbitten. So yeah, Mski pouring it on. Now the orb comes out doing good damage. And, oh wow, our Crystal Maiden forced to pull back quite considerably, so trading a little paint there on bottom lane. But yeah, whenever you have a hero that can't afford to have a bad start, you stick a Lich in the lane, unless the other team really commits a lot to trying to counter that, you're just going to win the lane. It's going to happen every single time between the creep denying and, of course, just the free damage he gets from his Frost Blast.
No, Mski's actually doing a very, very good job in this early game. DK trailing behind 2 deaths. And actually, no, there might be a go on. No, it's just Crystal Maiden giving farm to TA. And the only lane that DK is looking really strong on right now is this middle lane. And I guess that is the one hero or the one player on DK who will have all the tools and all the skill and all the experience necessary to then carry his team to victory on that Anti-Mage.
Yep, Anti-Mage does pick up his poor man's shield, so he's going to be in good shape. And here we go, another engagement. And again, they're just going to do this over and over. They're going to get a kill. Don't know if it'll be now, and it won't. Couple of low ground shots missed from Lich. If they hadn't missed, we might have seen a dive, but as is, Invoker survives, at least for the moment. But yeah, every time he comes forward at all to get experience or last hits, that's going to happen over and over. And Mski, they have to do something about that. They're doing well in their other lanes, and that's all well and good. But they just can't let Anti-Mage free farm. And yeah, there it is. I told you it was going to happen. Didn't see it, but I knew it was going to happen. Here we go. Disruption going to catch Queen of Pain. There's a Fissure going to buy her some time. Blinks away. Edict is off. This is a fully skilled Edict at this point. Earthshaker most likely going to drop on the backside here. He turns the corner. And Queen of Pain continuing to do good damage. Gets out of range of the Split Earth. I'm really surprised DK didn't get a kill there.
Oh, the Fissure is still up.
Oh, wow. That's going to be a 2-kill turnaround. 2 in the books. DK still trails 4-2, but they do get 2 down pretty quickly.
Wow, this is a very nice one usage there from Earthshaker, and that's the thing too. One thing that newer Dota players really have to learn is there's a difference between being low on HP and being focused, and there's a difference on being low on HP, period.
Yeah.
Earthshaker was being focused, he was out of focus once he used that magic stick and disappeared in the fog of war, knew he had that long range fissure, came back in and set up a great double kill here for Queen of Pain. One hero still dropped for Mski, but it's still a better exchange for them.
Oh yeah, 100%. And it does look like we're going to see Anti-Mage skipping the Battle Fury. And, you know, there was a time when if you saw Anti-Mage, he was just going to build Battle Fury. Not really the case anymore. He went Treads, poor man's shield. So we'll see if he wants to opt for an early Russian Manta style or if he does want to go with the Vanguard. I'm going to guess he's probably going to... No, actually, he is going to go ahead and pick up his Ring of Health. Very odd to see Perseverance come after Treads. You'll see Tier 1 boots most of the time. But anyway, Split Earth is not going to catch Queen of Pain. She's taking a lot of damage, though. Again, good fissure. And this is why the Asian scene just loves Earthshaker. He can start a fight and he can end a fight. He can bail you out. He can get a kill. Just amazing play out of our Shaker here, played by Woots.
Yeah, bottom lane.
Bottom lane, we're going to have Sunstrike does land. However, under the safety of his own tower. Oh, wow, Anti-Mage is going to come up. He's going to get 1 kill. This is problematic. They can't be given burning kills. Probably could have given him the 2nd kill there, but guess didn't want to risk it. Burning. Off to an excellent start. We're at 7 minutes. He has 41 last hits. He's 2-0-0. That's bad news. We're all tied up, 4-4. We'll take our first look at the goal graph. And yeah, on the back of those last kills, DK catching up. They now lead. And are you kidding me? 3 kills now for Anti-Mage as he picks off Invoker for the second time. This is worrisome. Mski has done well in their other lanes for the most part, but they have given way too much of an advantage to Anti-Mage for us to just be at 8 minutes.
Absolutely, and the thing is too that Burning and Lich have just such a great understanding of the game that Invoker cannot afford to be out of position like that, especially if he's going for the Exort build. He cannot just be as naive and think that DK is not going to realize when they can get a kill on him.
Well, we're going to see Mski push back out. Oh, there's going to be a Sunstrike. That's going to connect. He manages to sneak through the fissure, but it doesn't matter. He's picked off on the backside by Queen of Pain either way. And yeah, this is good play by Mski, I think. I'm a little surprised. I mean, DK has, or our Lesh, I should say, played by Super. His build is pure Edict, so obviously he's going to want to push towers early. And I just don't know that right there was the time. You know, the TP reactions, they have to know that's coming. They didn't really have the support to force a bigger fight there if they really wanted to, if there was a big TP reaction. And now this is really the problem for Mski as well. Invoker is now left alone with Anti-Mage, one-on-one here in mid, but Anti-Mage already has a Perseverance up, Portman Shield, and Treads at 8 minutes. 8 minutes in, 8.5 I should say. He is so farmed and so far ahead, and he could just do this. He could just go ahead, be part of a dive, gets another kill on the board, and he's going to pick off another one. I mean, this is... You have to feel for Mski. Now, he's probably going to get another kill here. Yeah, they just can't damage him fast enough. She can't blink. She has no mana. Oh, wow. Burning gets juked a little bit, forced to blink back as Earthshaker shows up. Really surprised there wasn't another kill picked up, and didn't see where the Sunstrike went, but either way.
Sunstrike hit right on top of Burning, and he was down to 25 HP. Barely lived that one. If the Fissure had hit from Earthshaker, that would have been most likely a dead Anti-Mage.
Yep.
The thing is, too, that Queen of Pain, a little bit of blunder play from her there as well. She used her ultimate onto Crystal Maiden, got the kill that way, but could have maybe improved the angle a little bit. She could have blinked into the escape route from Crystal Maiden and thrown her ultimate in such a way that it would have hit Crystal Maiden as well as the Anti-Mage.
Right.
And so a little bit of a mess-ups here from Mski, and they cannot afford to do this against a team such as DK because they will just profit off... you win a game of Dota by profiting off of your enemy's mistakes, and they're making some, and DK are definitely profiting off of those.
Yep, now there is a Slumbering Giant on the map, worth mentioning. Been very quiet so far. 1 death, but our Templar Assassin is not horrible in terms of farm either. Sitting on 57 last hits now as we approach 10 minutes, right up there with Burning, who is about to add 57, so even as well. However, Burning is 5-0, and again, it's one thing to have an Anti-Mage have an okay start. Like, you don't, like, oh, hang on, he's actually going to be picked off here, it looks like. Can he get the blink off? He can, and that's just Anti-Mage. And, you know, that just, again, puts the onus on Queen of Pain. She needs an Orchid. If they want to have any chance of dealing with him and trying to pick him off in the mid-game, they're going to have to get an Orchid up on their Queen of Pain. She's opted for Bracer Boots first, and, of course, the bottle as well. Oh, what the hell? Crystal Maiden just walked into the wrong part of town.
That's the thing, too. Right now, once Mski realizes what Anti-Mage is going for, that he's not going for the Manta style, this should be all sets go, or all signs go now for Queen of Pain to start farming. Dedicate a lane only to her, get that Orchid up really quickly. TA also will... This is an interesting experimental game to observe as well, because we will see how well TA will be able... how well TA can go up against an Anti-Mage head to head.
Yep.
And the thing is, though, that it's not really even odds because Burning has been fed 5 kills, basically.
Yep. And this is really the problem, and this is why Lesh is such a high-tier hero in all scenes and in all areas. He could just melt a tower. He just showed up, melted a tower. Hang on. Speaking of getting melted, Queen of Pain getting work done. She's going to pay a death, but she got 2 kills for her trouble. 8-9. DK continues to lead. Yeah, she died, but damn, did she do a lot of damage before she did. Problem is, that was a tower for DK as well, so... I mean, yeah, they got a kill, but tower's better than kills at this stage of the game, and that's kind of, you know, again, she can do that. That's Queen of Pain's role. She's going to be able to do that for quite some time. I mean, her damage is not going to fall off terribly soon. But really, again, it's Time Bomb versus Time Bomb. They have to keep Burning in check. If they can't do that, he's very close to his Battle Fury already. We're just at 12 minutes, and he's only, yeah, he is every bit of 400 gold from a Battle Fury right now. Absurd. Literally, just absurd how well he's done in the early game, and they couldn't afford to do that, but now that it has happened, and they know he is going to be going Battle Fury, Queen of Pain is going to have to get up her Orchid and do it soon. If he's allowed to free farm, it's going to be bad news. Speaking of bad news, that's a very dead Earthshaker. DK able to melt him down, and this is what they're going to do, to go ahead and free up their anti-mage to just have his way in the jungle and elsewhere. They're just going to continue to bounce Lesh around from lane to lane and push and push and push and force Mski to react to their game plan.
Yeah, DK is playing very, very well. They do have that burst damage going their way, though. Earthshaker, Queen of Pain, and Crystal Maiden, if they get their positioning and initiation right, then they can take out 2 or 3 support heroes from DK right before the fight starts. But then again, this will still not take care of the burning problem that they have at the moment. And TA will need every bit of farm she can get. It appears that she's going actually for a Wraithbane. I thought that she was going to rush a Blink Dagger now after her Phase Boots. Well, we'll see what she comes up with in terms of an item build to take on this team.
Yeah, I'm really surprised. I mean, obviously, very solid teams here. They have their reasoning, but to me, you're going to
bottom.
Yep, we see him moving through the Radiant side jungle. Not going to be able to catch Jay, however. Jay setting up shop, just kind of hanging out down in the trees. And you know, DK, they're free to do this. They're just free to completely exert themselves on the map at every chance they get. And they know, speaking of, we see Burning chasing down our Queen of Pain. She's just going to blink away, and Burning much more interested in going back to farm now. But yeah, Puck's here. DK is ready to go. We're going to have a dive one way or the other, and this could be horrendous for Mski. They could lose 3. We're going to see our Shadow Demon lead off. He's going to immediately disrupt our Crystal Maiden. Earthshaker going to make a run for it. In comes Invoker as well. We're going to see the Edict melt down CM. There's a good Echo Slam, though. Lots of damage done. In comes Jay. Going to get 1 kill. Can he make it 2? Off goes the Lich ult. Going to bounce once off of one hero. Now just bouncing on creeps. Back in the woods. We're going to see her picked up, or picked off by a Split Earth. Can she drop Super? No. Super able to back up. That's going to be another death. However, Puck in some trouble now. And yeah, hanging in, phases out. As the dust clears, that's a 3-for-2 trade favoring DK, and actually going to force a buyback out of Invoker. Lich now making a run for it. Crystal Maiden is going to be able to pick up, or actually that's going to be Queen of Pain able to pick that off. Or no, actually Crystal Maiden did get the kill. So all of a sudden, these teams have both woken up and come out slinging. 12-14 now, still favoring DK, and Burning with the Battle Fury now going to work.
He's been farming that entire time. It was a really messy team fight down there. Mski very nicely reacting. TA picks up a Blink Dagger. And one thing that I do have to criticize about this right there is that Invoker, he did go for the Ghost Walk, so he put 1 point into Wex just to get out of harm's way. But in my opinion, as soon as the Edict wore off from Leshrac, he should have came out of invisibility because he was not focused anymore, and they had their hands full with the Mski heroes right there in that little cluster F down there, and he was just running around invis doing nothing. He could have auto-attacked, but he came out way too late. When he came out, the cooldown on Edict was already ready and killed him, and that extra physical damage output could have been enough because, as you saw, they came out of the woods there so low on HP that a TPing in Crystal Maiden and a Queen of Pain were able to just pick him off in a matter of seconds.
Yeah, absolutely. And at this point, Battle Fury's been done. Burning is going to work in the jungle. More or less, Mski's is on the timer now. Once you have an anti-mage that is this farmed, has this good of a start, and anti-mage in any case with a Battle Fury, but I mean, we're at 15 minutes, and anti-mage has 110 CS, 6, 0, and 1. I mean, you can't have it happen. And now, I mean, Mski does not have the pleasure of turtling up. They turtle up, they lose. It's just a free win, given the DK. Here we go. That's free death, basically. Puck melted so quickly, couldn't even call out the damage he was taking. Lich going to go ahead and TP away. And Mski now wanting to pressure this mid tower. Anti-mage giving chase to Invoker. Invoker trying to make a run for it. Mski not worried about him. Instead, they want the tower. Lesh joining Anti-mage. Looks like they want to go ahead and trade Tier 1 for Tier 2. And we're going to see our Shadow Demon engaged upon here. Mski, I don't want to say they're wasting time. Getting a kill is excellent. But when you've got a Leshrac and an Anti-mage now in the other lane, they're trading Tier 1 for Tier 2. This is not a good trade, even with the kill added in.
Oh, great ultimate from Queen of Pain here, and picks off a Leshrac on the top lane. Burning blinks in immediately though, and the Queen of Pain is out of mana, so this is very dangerous for her. Gets a hit on ultimate on 2 heroes right there. Has to back out now.
Yep, forced to pull back. Tower does drop in mid. Tower still standing on bottom, so Mski able to react there. Good reaction from Queen of Pain, as you pointed out. 16-14, Mski reclaims the gold lead. It's been kind of a back and forth affair. We take a look, or I should say kill lead, gold lead still very much in favor of DK, though certainly arcing upwards. So Mski trading blows as best as they can. But again, I mean, it all comes down to this guy right here. Anti-mage is a game changer. That you feed him 6 kills and give him 120 last hits of 7 minutes. And it's bad times for everyone involved. And I think Queen is making a huge mistake. She's going for Aghanim Scepter, and that's fine. That's all well and good. But if you want to shut down a Burning who's going to be free farming for the foreseeable future, the best way to do that is get that Orchid up, and that's going to be coming up quite late.
One thing that Mski should be doing right now is going to hunt that anti-mage.
Yeah.
Because right now is a very, how do I say, just a bad time for anti-mage to meet that Templar assassin, because he does have, well, he already picked up in Vladimir's offering, but still he's only sitting at barely, like not even 900 HP, and she can burst him down like nothing. Just a frostbite onto him, and Jay is able to just burst him down within a matter of like 1 or 2 seconds.
Look at the plan. This is why he has that Vlad's. He wants to take on the big boy. He's able to blink in and sneak himself in. There are no counter wards that could have spotted him going in. Actually, no, I take it back. There are two. One above and below. I don't know how I missed those, but yeah. It doesn't matter, though. He's going to kill Roche by himself, and he's going to get an Aegis. This is insane. This is...
Great play.
This might be the most farmed anti-mage I've seen in short of 20 minutes. I have never seen an anti-mage get this far ahead in such a short amount of time. DK just executing amazingly. They are still trailing in kills, so Mski's not out of this by any stretch. But again, they're on a timer, man, and that timer just got shorter. That's a Roche kill that goes strictly to anti-mage. He's got an Aegis now, so he can now he can actually join in 5 push, even though he went with the Battle Fury. That is very, very rare to see a Battle Fury anti-mage that can do. They can really feel free to get involved in team fights at this stage. Here we go. Split Earth doesn't catch much. DK looking to pick somebody off. DD's popped on Queen of Pain. Got to be careful of that. Anti-mage just going to go ahead and farm up with his team behind him. Setting up shop. Go ahead.
You know, the thing is that Burning does not have the reputation of being the best hard carry player in the world for nothing. He has got one of the sickest work ethics ever. Oh, now he's actually going up against a big enemy there in TA. Just blinks in there and she blinks away.
Yep.
So now we see who's the better carry here at the moment. And this situation, or like this picture right now, is not going to improve for TA as time goes on.
Yeah, no, again, it's... Obviously, we are not Mski. We are not professional Dota players, but I can tell you right now, priority number 1 has to be shutting down anti-mage. You basically need to pick and push. You got to pick.
Oh, look at this here, middle lane.
Yep. Got to walk right past the AM. Instead, wants to focus on the free kill and should be able to let him walk on down to the river to safety. Okay. I mean, anti-mage was close, so I mean, you can understand maybe not wanting to take the chance, but yeah, I mean, with an anti-mage that's this far ahead, is already well on his way to being a dominant force very, very soon. Already has his Yasha up even. Jeez, every time you look, he's got a new item. Invoker does get a tower, so good for Invoker, courtesy of his Forged Spirits. But it needs to be a pick and push for Mski. They can, taking free towers, great. The Ags is done now for Jojiro, or Jojiro, however his name's pronounced. And
if Force Staff as well as Invoker, and if you look at the anti-mage, he's been feeding basically on that Invoker all by himself, and this is also one of the big reasons why Invoker has fallen out of favor of the competitive scene, at least in Europe, because after that nerf on Quaz Wex, everyone opted to go into Exort, then realized, or teams realized, that he's extremely easy to gank if he doesn't have that escape mechanism. He has no escape mechanism except for that Quaz Wex one. So I think we will see less and less of Invoker competitive play unless they go really for that Quaz Wex build again. And I don't think that nerf was that bad. You just have to time your combination better. And
yeah.
I think I personally like Quaz Wex Invoker way more than a hard-hitting Invoker, because you can have a different hero designated to dealing the damage. You can have an Invoker just designated to controlling a lane very well, not dying, and being the crowd-controlling mana burner during team fights.
No, I agree with you. I think that's really going to be the question that Invoker players have to answer. Is there a transition between Exort heavy, Quaz Wex heavy? Is there a way to balance it? Invoker, again, if you see him, he goes mid pretty much all the time. Maybe we'll see him return to a much more support-ish role in the future. But as is, really, he's most effective whenever he's able to use his Sunstrike to get early kills. Whenever he's able to use his Sunstrike to essentially be all over the map at once. Just by virtue of timing it up with single target or AoE stuns. And we just haven't seen that out of Mski, really. I mean, he's landed a couple of good Sunstrikes, but the aggression just really hasn't been there in terms of what Invoker's brought to the fight. See the bottom tower taking some damage here from Queen of Pain. Burning wants to deny it, and he will. And see if he wants to chase. Yeah, he is going to go ahead and chase. And he's going to... Oh, wow. Jojiro wandering into the wrong area. Lich ult, burned, scared the hell out of some creeps. Either way, burning does manage to pick up the kill. And yeah, this is not how this should feel. With the Queen of Pain pickup, it should be Animage who's worrying about the Queen of Pain. And I really think Mski, for lack of a better term, boned themselves pretty hard by opting for Ags. I really do.
Yeah, well, he's 7-0 now as his meta style 22 minutes in. He's also at least one of the top 3 anti-mages I've ever seen in my whole life. It's ridiculous how farmed this guy is, and even with the TA, who's done a respectable job herself, she just doesn't have the luxury of having 7 kills and 0 deaths.
Yep, 138 last hits for JJ, and that's excellent. 197 last hits. 200 last hits at 23 minutes for our anti-mage, and that's to say nothing of the fact that he's, he's 7-0-1, BT dubs. But, yeah, I mean, Burning's just doing work, man. I mean, and there's only so many ways you can repeat it. Mski, they're doing what they can. I feel like they had a decent enough early game, but they gave the kills to the wrong person, is basically what happened. They should have reacted to the Lich Anti-Mage duo lane. They should have been more active moving in and out of that lane, trying to keep him off balance. They got their kills. They still lead in kills. And they let in kills for most of the game, but they just gave the kills to Anti-Mage. You can't do that.
What Mski should have done, perhaps... Oh, actually, we got to go on Queen of Pain now. Anti-Mage turns around again. I think what Mski should have done for sure is leave Queen of Pain solo that long lane. She did not even need to win that lane. She just needed to get some EXP, a few last hits, and she would be fine against that combination, because even if she eats the stun after the disruption, it will not be enough to kill her. She can still TP out, and that's a big point. She has an escape mechanism. She can handle the lane on her own. If they would have had an Earthshaker in the middle lane to make sure that there's a fissure whenever they try to initiate onto their Invoker, then things could have been looking a lot different, and Anti-Mage would certainly not have been able to get that many kills early on if they just rotated one support hero such as that Earthshaker into the middle lane early on.
Yep. No, I think you're dead on the money. They had to react. You can't just have an Invoker lose mid that badly. And immediately he was behind. He was being forced back under his own tower, almost died 2 or 3 times earlier. And yeah, I mean, Anti-Mage, he's going to be stopped and stunned. It's too late. This is great. I hope they get the kill, and they probably will. They get the Aegis. But now
now they're all dying.
Yeah, exactly. Off comes the Lich ult. He's going to pop back up. That's 3 kills immediately down. And, you know, I hate to sound not excited, but it was so predictable. Like, there was no chance that anything else but that was going to happen. And yeah, I feel like Mski gave this away. I do, and that's why I have this tone of voice right now. DK has played amazing. Burning has played amazing. Make no mistake about it. Not taking anything away from DK. World-class team, one of the best in the world, and now as the transition from Dota 1 to Dota 2 gets under full swing, only gonna be better and better and better. Mski, though, could have prevented this. They could have kept it together, and now they're behind 17-19. Still 2 heroes down. Anti-Mage is 100%, utterly, completely, and totally out of control. And we'll see if they're able to get a tower here. I mean, I still think it's a little early. Yeah, they're just going to pull back. Wise decision here from DK. Not going to overextend themselves. But they're in a real rough spot, man. 7,500 gold separating the teams now. And the problem they have, again, they need to pick and push, but they have allowed Anti-Mage to get so damn tanky already with a Mana-style Battle Fury and a freaking Vladimir's. And it's just going to get worse. Next, another 2-3 minutes, he's going to have another big item. He's already got 3,400 gold in the bank. And I just don't know what they can do. I really don't.
633 gold per minute, almost double of what TA has.
Yep.
And the thing is that one thing that's very good for DK... Oh, actually, top lane, Leshrac goes down to Earthshaker, so that's 1 kill for Mski. But one thing I really like about DK is that as soon as the Aegis dropped for Anti-Mage, all 4 heroes of DK were right there. And that is something that you cannot expect from many other teams. The positioning and the anticipation, intelligence, and just the coordination of DK is world-class. And that is why they have been considered the #1 Dota 1 team. They were the #1 Dota 1 team. Even Na'Vi were not able to take them on one-on-one there. And Na'Vi is currently the top 1 team in Dota 2.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, and DK will be one of the 2 or 3 Chinese favorites to win the International 2 for sure. And after seeing this type of gameplay from them, I agree.
Yeah, I mean, and again, we'll bring up the gold graph again. It's leveled off a bit. It's very close to 10,000 gold differential now. 10,000 experience, just about matching it. But the scoreboard's 18-19. Mski's still in this. Mski full of great players, really and truly. Mski a really solid team. But the scoreboard doesn't tell you how out of control this game really is. I mean, let's put it in perspective for a moment. Mski lost 4-0 in their own jungle, largely because Burning just decided to farm the enemy jungle just kind of because he could, and the rest of his team showed up late. They lost 4-0 in that situation. That's where they are right now. Smoking up like this is really the only choice they have. And it's a good call. I mean, you got to do what you can. But they're going to have more than one big mistake coming out of DK for them to really have any hope of bouncing back into this. Because Burning, he's already got his BKB up. He's one, maybe two items away, depending on what he wants to build. He may just build a heart and go, "You'll never kill me ever," and that's GG. Or he may just go butterfly and just go, "Still, you're never going to kill me ever," so GG anyway. Except now I do more damage. But, yeah, I mean, he's going to be done soon. And he's going to 1v5 their entire team. And they've got every bit, maybe, at most, they've got 10 minutes to really change this game. Otherwise, it's over.
You can see also from the movement of Mski right now, they're doing a good job. They're still splitting the farm. That is an indication of a very, let's say, routine, like a team that has a routine in their professional gameplay.
Yep.
Because usually you will see teams that get shocked like this from such a farmed anti-mage. They will run around like headless chickens, steal farm from each other, and not know what to do. But we have two guys in the jungle, two on lane, and one also at a small creep camp in the jungle, getting their farm up. But as you said, they need to make something happen. They need to smoke up and deliver a strong blow. But then again, the chances of a successful gank against a team such as DK, like catching one hero out far away from the others, are slim to none.
Yeah, it's a rough situation to be in for sure. And I'll tell you a big part of the problem as well. And this just comes down to how well Anti-Mage has done and just the way the shape the game has taken. So I just want to make it clear I'm not laying this on Jay playing our TA. TA, up another kill. Puck able to pick off Queen of Pain once again. Queen of Pain has also made some pretty big mistakes. Has fed a couple of deaths for really no reason. A good example of one there. But back to our Templar Assassin played by Jay, and I'm not laying this on Jay in particular. Just the shape this game has taken as it's progressed has really not allowed TA to play TA style, being all over the map at once, being this very dangerous force that can just pick off and isolate heroes. It's been such a defensive play from Mski for the last few moments that really TA is turned into just a more typical hard carry, and she's not going to win a hard carry battle with Anti-Mage when he's this far ahead. It's just not going to happen.
That's true. Even if you look just at the armor difference of the two heroes, 11 on TA and 20 now on Anti-Mage.
Yep.
It's just and even the damage and the attack speed, all those things, Anti-Mage just does not have a problem with them. And the good thing that DK did, initiation on the bottom lane now.
Yep, BKB gonna be popped, however, and yeah, there's 2 deaths. And Lich throws the ult, kind of. Again, that's what you call a just cuz ult. Just cuz, why not? May as well. 22-18, DK leads, and I think that whatever hope Mski might have had, I think just came to an end. I hate to preemptively call it and be that caster who just calls it at 30 minutes, but this game is, again, by the scoreboard, if you were to just look at the scoreboard and not pay a lot of attention to the farm or anything like that, you go, well, 18-22, obviously pretty close game. Hell, I mean, there's no racks down yet. That's going to change right about now. This is just so completely, utterly, I mean, 10,000 gold differential, even that's not that much for 31 minutes. 7-0 and 3, 315 last hits Anti-Mage with a damn near full inventory. That's the problem. And to give credit, DK's not slacking elsewhere. There goes the tower, by the way. And, I mean, Mski they're doing what they can. They're fighting this out. In comes Leshrac now, though. He's just built so tanky. Oh, we're going to see Puck disable both. And, yeah, there goes 2 more kills. That's 3-0. 4-0. We're going to have a 5-0. So, I mean, and again, I'm not trying to be snarky here. Mski's an amazing team, but they gave DK too much an advantage. This game was essentially over 10 minutes ago.
The thing is, an amazing reaction time from Long DD. The Hex went out on Burning. The Sonic Wave flew out. Before the Sonic Wave connected with Burning,
Yep.
Bam, he got disrupted. Then he blinked in, BKB, Manta style, and just killed everything.
Yep.
Great play from DK. And the thing is, what they did so good against the TA, and I think this is what the counter will be, or this will be the evolutionary adaptation process that the teams will have to undergo once TA enters the competitive scene is to stick around together and not, as you said, let her take that role that she wants to have in being able to run around the map by herself and blink up to solo heroes and just kill them.
Yep. And, you know, in theory, again, you look at their lineup. TA and Queen of Pain should have, on paper, been the counter to a farming Anti-Mage. Should have just totally had the... I mean, obviously you still got to do it, but on paper, played by professional players, that should have just been able to shut him down from farming completely. Just wasn't the case. Burning got so far ahead, DK as a team got so far ahead, that Mski has never really been able to cross the river with any level of confidence at all. They are going to challenge this Roche as best they can. But again, I mean, at this point, Leshrack's got his Bloodstone up. I mean, so it's not just Burning who's winning this game. His whole team is as well. In comes our Queen of Pain. She's going to die once again. Off goes the Lich Ult. That's going to be a long-range Lich Ult. Invoker makes for the high ground while Crystal Maiden heads for the jungle. She's going to be chased down. That's another kill. And, yeah, the Manta-style illusions chasing. In the meantime, though, TA does manage to sneak in and pick up the Aegis. So there's at least a little bit of sign of life. Mski has a pulse. They're trying to keep themselves alive. And, you know, in fairness, again, they are playing well as they can given their current situation. But, yeah, there's an Abyssal Blade. Now Anti-Mage is doing 370 damage a shot. That's a problem.
Well, Mski is really doing well, and I think the only thing that really put the first big nail into their coffin was leaving that middle lane without support.
Yeah.
They're now paying the consequences.
Yeah, and again, you're not going to lay it on any one player. Invoker, oh wow, good Echo Slam, does do some damage. Let's see if they can get some kills out of it. They do get one. Could they make it 2 or 3? 2 for 1. Finally, Mski kind of wins a team fight. Anti-Mage has pulled out. And, you know...
TA's chasing.
Yeah.
No, she's not.
Yeah, I thought she was too. We saw the ulti go off. She's working towards a BKB, not horrendously far away. About 1,300 gold now. And DK...
She got it.
Yep. Never mind, it was on the courier. But, yeah, I mean, they're hanging in, man. They really are. And I think it's great. I love that they're doing everything they can to stop this from being a game 1 loss. But, well, I don't know. I mean, Abyssal Blade, decent choice. I think I would have preferred Eagle Song, but yeah, I mean, look, just how quickly Invoker just completely melts, and so does... Hey, just look at TA. She can't even begin to hold a candle to Burning right now.
She drops just way too fast. And Abyssal Blade also just a very good pick against TA.
Yeah.
And if Anti-Mage didn't have that 5 or 6 kill advantage right now, we would have a very, very close and action-packed game to cast right now.
Well, you know, again, his item choices left the door open a little bit for Mski. I mean, he hasn't built straight agility, so he is lacking a little bit in survivability, taking a bit more damage than he would if he were to have gone with an Eagle Song. Or a Butterfly, I should say. Eagle Song and a Butterfly. But yeah, BKB up. He's taking damage here. And yeah, we're just going to see Templar Assassin begin to melt. In comes Leshrack. Lich Ult goes off as well. Watch it bounce. Watch the kills mount. Down goes Crystal Maiden. 4 for nil. Aegis does get TA back into the fight. She's looking for kills. Likely to find... Oh, good Force Staff. Doesn't matter. Blink Dagger enough to get her to allow her to chase. Burning still banging on the racks, though. One set of racks been missing for a while. Make it 2. Down goes the melee racks. DK... basically in victory lap mode at this point. And again, it's been a valiant effort by Mski. But 2 choices in particular cost in this game. Allowing Invoker to just basically have his face smashed in mid. And again, not to lay blame on the player. He did a decent enough job given the situation he was in. It was just a really impossible lane combination to deal with. That plus no real effort to try and chase down Anti-Mage. Queen of Pain opting to skip Orchid, I think, was a big mistake. Because Queen of Pain and Templar Assassin could have run around as a 2-man squad and just made it their job to pick and push. Just pick off heroes every chance they got, focus on the Anti-Mage, try to keep this farm down. Instead, we wind up 21-35. I dread to see the final score, the final tallies, I should say. Let's see, where you at, Anti-Mage? How about 363 last hits at 36 minutes? 363 last hits, 36 minutes, 897 XP per minute, 808 gold per minute. I'm always loath to give the MVP award to the carry who just goes crazy. Burning deserves it.
I'm right with you, man. Burning played extremely well, and also gotta criticize one more time that they did not react to this. They know they are up against an anti-mage played by probably the most famous carry player in the world right now, and they don't react to it. And there you go. They pay the price in the beast that is the anti-mage we can see right now. 12-0-9 and full item set.
Well done and well played by DK. Mski takes a tough loss in game number 1. They're going to be looking to knot it up and force a game 3 here in this best of 3 at Monthly Madness Asia. I'm AC, joined by Epi for the commentary. Stick with us. We'll be back with game number 2.